listening to The Metro on 101.9 WDET, Detroit Public Radio. The African World Festival is the annual event hosted by the Wright Museum of African American History. It's a 3-day experience with vendors and music and other performances that represent all the beauty and talent in the African diaspora. It takes place this weekend from Friday, July 18th to Sunday, July 20th in Hart Plaza. And joining me now to talk about this event is its events programming lead, Vernon.
Good morning.
Bear.
Yes.
Welcome to the Metro.
Great to see you, Kerry.
Good to see you.
Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to be here. Good to see you in this new role. I know you've been around the African World Festival for a long time.
Yes.
I just want you to talk a little bit about like what it's been like when you first kind of started working on it, what you did, and how you progressed to being the programming lead and being kind of over everything.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's been, like you said, the background of me growing up at this festival.
Yeah.
And then the technical support from, of course, my mother and the other parts of the festival that when I was little, I was micromanaging or helping in whatever capacity I could at that time. Of course, as early as carrying cups to being old enough to touch chords and electrical equipment, then now being a stagehand, and then that developing into programming a stage, and then leading up to, hey, you actually understand the architect and also the formation of this festival. So the roles just grew.
You literally grew up at the African World Festival.
Literally grew up at the African World Festival. My mother, Mama Njia Kai.
Yeah. Give her a shout out.
Yes, always. That's the grand teacher. But yes, she was the director for a few years. She also was the food and beverage coordinator. So again, she had she took her giant steps into that director role for several years. Mm-hmm. And being in that space, of course, you learn a lot.
You learn a lot.
Fast.
You witnessed a lot, right? In your role, watching her do that work, I'm sure you learned a lot. And so
Sure.
I'm wondering for you, kind of what that transition was like. Was it natural? Was it like I've seen this being done from someone in my literal home, so I know how to put this festival together. And when it was your time and you were tapped, you were like, I got it.
Surely it was that, and it was also the steps I took as a producer myself and as a music enthusiast, going to school with a lot of these up and coming legends in the city, and also being a part of different festivals throughout the year. So it extends past African World Festival, again, being able to work with brilliant minds behind Arts, Beats, and Eats and some of the Winter Blast festivals, of course. My mother's work goes into downtown Detroit.
Wow.
Her influence on downtown Detroit, of course, is impeccable.
Right.
So the work we've done with Downtown Detroit Partnership and all of these other great organizations have brought me to this point where now there's a new voice or a younger voice in the city that can tap into the fresh new artists that are excellent in their craft. And again, being in that space, being in that festival space, and then going to schools like Detroit School of Arts, Howard University, all of these spaces have put me very close to these artists, right? And it's almost as if I grew up with them as well. So growing up with the festival and growing up with the artists kind of gives me that leverage and advantage.
That's facts. I mean, a little context for this conversation. I used to work at the African World Festival as one of the vendors that used to be there, and
Yes.
You and I would always see each other, and you were already working on this like 6-7 years ago, right?
Seriously.
It was really cool because I was doing podcasting at that time.
Wow.
So it's just cool to see you here. I should have set that context up at the beginning of the conversation.
Surely.
For those who are just tuning in, you're listening to the Metro on 101.9 WDET. I'm Kerry Jr. II. My guest is Vernon. He is the program lead for the African World Festival. It takes place this weekend, Friday, July 18th to Sunday, July 20th in Hart Plaza. Now to the festival itself, Zubair.
Yes.
This event is also kind of commemorating the Charles H. Wright Museum's 60th anniversary. Can you tell me a little bit about that significance and how it ties into the festival's theme?
Surely. So the festival's theme this year is legacy. in respect to the fact that we've done 40 plus years of this African World Festival, and that the Charles H. Wright Museum in conception is turning 60. So to give some background information for those who may not know, it wasn't always a museum in terms of that instituting that space. It started off as an idea, and then it became a trailer, a literal trailer that Dr. Charles H. Wright created to just give small exhibits and give as much history as he could. And that idea, that trailer, and that work and dedication is the museum that we have today. So the 60 years, I think sometimes, museums are just labeled with, because it holds so much antiquity, is just labeled as a 100-year-old museum. That's just, this building has been here for 60 years. And it's that idea has been here for 60 years, and the hard work to sustain it and preserve it is how we got this museum today. So the festival theme being legacy is respecting the 60 years of excellence for the Wright Museum, and then also the 40 years of the African World Festival, right?
Okay. And so, because it used to be on the museum's grounds, now it's in Hart Plaza. Well, it was on the grounds before that. I was in Hart Plaza.
Right.
Now it's back in Hart Plaza. Can you just talk about some of the things that people will see there? What are some of the big names that y'all are doing to set this off?
Surely. So, out of respect, again, for the legacy theme, we're bringing back the fashion show and the step show, which is very cool. I think the approach this year is innovative, because usually we will have, of course, our Divine Nine, much respect to those organizations. We will have our Divine Nine organizations come and do the step show. This year we were blessed by a sister named Talia, who runs an organization called Sisters in Success, and the entity is Stepping in Success, where they have youth step shows. I had a pleasure to see them at the Old Redford Theater a few months ago, and those kids were phenomenal. They did a wonderful job, tore it up. Boots on fire. So I reached out to Talia and her team and asked if they could bless this stage this year. So we'll have the step show at the Afro Style stage.
And real quick, for those who don't know Divine Nine, it's a historically black fraternity and sororities.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep. So yes, that group, those youth organizations are endorsed by those organizations as well, and representatives of those organizations. So they exemplify, of course, those same movements and rhythms out of respect for that.
And what other performances, musical artists will you have at the festival?
So, of course, our headliners, we got to move through our headliners, right?
Sure.
So Friday, we're blessed to have L.J. Reynolds and the Dramatics. They will be blessing the AWF main stage that afternoon. Saturday, we will have Midnight Star, which is one of my favorite groups, because people don't know that they know them until they hear a song. But it's like, I'll give you one real quick, Curious.
Yeah, please.
Like, I'm curious.
Oh, okay. That's the bop. That's the bop.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right? It's like, it's one of those that's on the radio that are making your head move, but you have no idea who's doing it. So please don't miss Midnight Star on Saturday. And on Sunday, we have Sounds of Blackness, which, of course, is a phenomenal group. We have the entire band coming for our main stage performance. And, of course, if you don't know that group, I'll give you another one.
Give us a couple seconds. We got only a few minutes left.
Optimistic, as long as you keep your head to the sky. We have them as our Sunday headliner. And, of course, we have some of Detroit's most premier artists, Charity, Urban Art Orchestra. We have Black Legacy Advancement Coalition coming to do panel discussions. So plenty of events going on. Also for the children, make sure you check out our African Safari Zone.
I got to hop in there, Zubair. We got to wrap it up. Thanks for shouting that out, man. Thanks for coming to show us on the Metro. The African World Festival this weekend, July 18th through the 20th. You do need tickets to attend. Find out at the Wright Museum's website. A note of disclosure, the Wright Museum, which hosts the African World Festival, is a financial supporter of WDET. Thanks for listening. This is the Metro again, and this is WDET FM, Detroit Public Radio, your connection to news, music, and conversation.